Well, because I don't have anything better to do and it's like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, I thought I'd just give you a quick tour of my, I don't know, hangout, where all my troubles begin and sometimes end. But this is my collection of pre-war O-gauge. I've got about as much of it as I've got standard gauge. And on this side here is Flyer, actually some post-war European, Hornby, stuff like that. But this is where I started out. This is what I first had, and it's progressed from there. Down there is a German kids stove from, I don't know, maybe the 1880s, 1890s. It's a nice shape. Bought that years and years ago. On this other wall is a collection of Flyer standard gauge, pre-war O-gauge, scale O-gauge, and post-war O-gauge. The DD1s over there, those are Max Gray from about 1953. I'm going to probably sell some of the O-gauge stuff. I got kind of hung up on that and was buying it left and right, and I didn't realize how wide of a radius you had to have to run this stuff, so I'm rather restricted as to what I can do, and going forwards and backwards just doesn't really fill the bill. Streamliner, UP Streamliner runs really good. I got wide radius, so that's easy to run on. Some of my earlier standard gauge that I bought, the green set there, I must have bought that 40 years ago in the box. And various other things down here on the bottom. Here again, some early pre-war standard gauge O-gauge scale. On the back is a wall of basically all standard gauge. The 200 series and the 500 series. Got European 1 gauge down here on the bottom. Just a lot of stuff. Of course, always working on the layout. This is it's been changed so many times it's not even funny. The elevated is what I finished right after my wife died in 2017. I got that all done, and that's a combo of 1 gauge and O gauge. And I use Gargrave's O gauge track because I can run scale. I can actually run scale trains on there, 2-rail DC, since it's all wooden ties. This is going to be, it's got a power truck underneath of it. I'm looking to make myself a box cab electric, that really boxy look that the early ones had, and that's a Lionel 17. Took the cupola off the top, thinking about putting a big pantograph on there. A working project. So we'll see where it goes to. It gives me something to do when the cold winds blow. This is basically a 200 series, and then my homemade cars that I've got right there at the back, what I call my shorties. And over here, this is basically all what repro I've got. Mike's Train House. Really, I like the Pride lines. Some of the other stuff on here American made, not Mike Train House, which was all made in China. But just something that I picked up, bought it cheap, and it's fun to run. I prefer the original, but it's fine. Now, working on this Bing, it ran absolutely beautiful when I first got it. Now I think the damn reverse switch is screwed up because it will buzz and it will go nowhere. Don't like that. Pre-war Hornby work train. Here on the back is 1 gauge and standard gauge, and basically nothing on the back wall here dates after 1926. Here's my brass 54. It runs very well. My 1943 Inland floating stock paratrooper was only used by basically the Airborne Division, and it is the real thing. It's been refurbished. It's had an arsenal overhaul, but that's a government overhaul, not something that somebody did at home. my work table. I tell you what, I bought this shear, and it is really great for whacking sheet steel. I like the kit bash stuff, and this is kind of what I mess with. This is basically a 117 that I've tore apart, and I'm trying to make a work caboose out of it. And it really makes a lot of difference that you can cut this to size. And then I have a sheet metal press fingers, and you can make a lot of stuff, a lot of bends with this. Really accurate if you take your time. Some of the guns, mostly World War I, World War II. That's what I'm into. To me, the guns go with the trains, because a lot of the trains that were played with by the same kids that later on went on to handle these guns. More stuff over here. Probably can't see it too well in this light. I need to hang a light over here. M1 carbine. I've also got a second model Maynard from the Civil War. That thing is absolutely fantastic, 50 caliber. And I'm not that great of a housekeeper. As you can see, I got crap strewn all over here. I put it all away and then I dig it right back out again. So you know how it goes. But this is kind of how I spend my time. Oh, here's my Ives 1 gauge cattle car I'm working on. I've got the roof. Took all the dings out of it. It's spray it in Tuscan. It looks really good. Now I've got to work on the body. I've got the door done, and we'll get the body painted, and then we'll add the highlights to it. Apply the trucks, apply the couplers, and it'll be pretty much done. So, but this is how I spend my days. It keeps me off the streets and away from loose and lascivious women, which I wouldn't mind meeting, but I got more important things to do right now. All right, we'll let you go. Later.